Morning, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing? Good, I hope. You know what it is. I'm got this concoction here, and I'm ready to get amped up and get another day going. So today, what I wanted to talk about was holy, whoa, warm already. What I wanted to talk about this morning was how to close a deal. We've talked about the leads and we've talked about the structure and all of those things, but where the rubber meets the road is when you get that signed contract, right? I mean, that's where it's all or nothing. At this point, everything that you've done has either been for gain, right, or really loss, because you've invested the money in the lead, you've invested your time, you've invested your fuel, your time, whatnot. So now it's time to close this deal. So I'll tell you something that I've used for a really, really, really long time, and it's always worked. I think that it will continue to always work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Now, the thing about this is not what you say, but it's definitely how you say it. And so, if I get a customer that's kind of hem-hawing around, I'll always drop the "you said." You said. In my opinion, those are the two most powerful words in the English dictionary, and they're together. You said. Kenny, what are you talking about? You said. This don't make any sense. Okay. So, remember, I talked a couple of days ago in a video about one of my questions I asked the client is, what made you reach out to me? What made you fill this form out? Okay. Well, the client's going to say, well, I don't have any coverage, or I make more money than my wife and I want to make sure she's taken care of, or I'm trying to set up a college fund for my kid, like whatever it is, right? So they want to think about it. And so you go back to that and you use this information against them, but in a very nice, respectful way that is the truth, because you've got your questionnaire, you've asked the questions, they have answered them, you've written those answers down. And so then you can go back and you can say, well, I want to think about it. Well, Mr. Client, let me ask you a question. Now listen, I'll do whatever you want, but if I'm not mistaken, you said the reason you filled this form out was because you wanted to protect your wife, or you said you wanted to protect your family, right? Well, yeah, okay. And you said that this was affordable, right? Well, yeah. Okay, so Mr. Klein, I've got to ask if the plan is affordable, which is obviously my number one objective, and obviously this is a plan that you feel like would set your family up, which was what you said your goal was, then I'm not really understanding what there is to keep us from moving forward, because I've addressed all of your needs. So understand that people are going to try to get away from this for whatever reason they can. Well, I got to think about it because I'm running late for my dog's toenail appointment, or whatever it is. I mean, I'm running late to the dog's groomer. I mean, it's a million things. And a lot of times what you're going to see, just like in that Bill Martin video, is that these people just need just a nudge, just a poke. That's it. That's all they need. And you do that, and you start dropping the "you said" on them, and you start reiterating some of the things that that they have told you is their goal. Well, you said this is what you wanted to happen to Susie. You said this is what you wanted to happen with the kids. You said that you thought that the plan that I'd come up with was a good one for you. You said that it was affordable. You said that when you retire here in 3 months, you're not going to have any insurance. You said that you've been sick in the past. Right now, you're insurable. You're one doctor's visit away from not being insurable or getting a ridiculous rate, even if you are. Those are the things that you've got to play. So, I'm a firm believer. There's a reason we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm a firm believer in that. There's a reason why. Ask your questions. Shut up. Let your client talk. People love nothing more than to talk about themselves. And here's the crazy part. You let that client start talking and they start opening up about things and you're just sitting there nodding your head, writing it down. And then every once in a little while you tap in and say, okay, so that was in 2012? Oh, yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you right. So, and then when it comes time to play ball, you can jump back into it and say, listen, you got to be however many years removed before anybody will look at you for this or that, whatever. But, at this point today, I can get you covered if something bad happens tomorrow, the next day. Listen, we'll work through it on the health side, but I'm going to be able to get you coverage at an affordable rate. And, you don't want to doom and gloom, but at the same time, it is also a part of what we do every day. You get diagnosed with cancer yesterday, well, you're going to be a hard one to insure, especially if you want affordable coverage. It's probably not going to happen. It's like me wanting cheap insurance and I just got a DUI. That's not how this is going to work. Or me wanting a good interest rate, me wanting a good interest rate, but I've never paid a bill on time. It's not going to happen. And you need to be real to that fact, and you need to make your clients real to that fact. And most people are understandable to that because, I don't know any people, that's asking for help with insurance if they're not somewhat reasonable most of the time. We're going to get them one-offs here and there, but most of the time, those people are going to have a halfway decent level head on their shoulders and understand the importance of insurance. So, that's also another thing, the importance of insurance. What you're going to see a lot of times too, guys, is that when people are filling these forms out, there is a reason that they're filling this form out. Whether they've had something happen in their life that has struck the fear of God into them. They've had somebody die that didn't have coverage, that the family had to chip together on, and maybe now the family's torn apart because of it, because a bunch of people went together to pay for a funeral, and one of those people said, I'll pay you back, and they never did, and now the next thing you know, they've got a brother or a sister that they've not spoken to in 5 years because they owe them a little bit of money. When if that person who had passed away had properly planned, none of that would be an issue. If you get real hardcore with a client, and I've had to go here a couple times, it's gotten me some deals though, but if you get real hardcore with a client, just look at them and say, well, I've done your assessment. It's clear that you need more than you have. It's clear you're the breadwinner. She's going to lose this house if something happens to you because there's just simply not enough here to do anything with, and she doesn't make enough to keep it. So she's going to lose the equity in this house that you've worked so hard for. So, we've got a few different options here, and I'm going to explain to them what they are. First option is that we can get you the additional coverage that you need, and it's going to cost you, $80 a month, $100 a month, whatever. That's first option. Second option is I can help you set up a GoFundMe page for when that time does happen. Don't know how much you're going to get or how much you're not going to get, but I know it's not guaranteed. Third thing is, we can sit down and we can type up some mailers and tape them to some mason jars and throw them on the countertops at gas stations asking for donations of any kind. We can do that. Or, the fourth thing is we can hope and pray that we get lucky and, just go buy a big mess load of lottery tickets and see how our luck pans out. So, only one of those 4 ways are guaranteed. That's it. Just one of the 4. So, um, so those are the only ways that I know of that you're going to be able to attempt to get your family protected without obviously getting some type of inheritance or civil lawsuit or whatever it is. And you just got to make that obvious to them. And sometimes when you bring things to the forefront like that and you get these people thinking like, oh, snap. I mean, because it's going to be what it is because, I mean, you're on social media. You're on social media right now watching this message. So your client probably is too. So they're very well aware of GoFundMe pages. They've all saw a mason jar on the countertop of the gas station. We all have. That's what it is. So, don't let them become a statistic and tell them that. Guys, listen, I don't want your family to be a statistic. I don't want your family to be a family that could have been protected, but due to, not planning properly is why you're here. Especially when I'm sitting right here in front of you and I can have this taken care of in 10 minutes. And I'll always come back around to, guys, do you want me to leave you as I found you? Or guys, do you want me to leave you better than I found you? So, always remember that you said. That you said is huge. I cannot even begin to remotely tell you how many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars I've made over the years in sales by using you said. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Ask your questions. Write your answers down. You got some ammo. As always, I'm here if you need me. Y'all have a good day. Crush it.